So, few more things in this session, just a few things. So, I'll go back to the my layers and I'll go to the Rust and let's have a look at another generator. I will first click all the fields, all the layers which are, I really don't know what's the name of these. Paint fills, the mask layer thingies. I remove all of them. I mean disable them from here. And then I will add a new generator. So I just left the old generator there but disabled it and put a new one. So generator, and again it's empty. So I first need to go and select a generator. So add a generator underneath the mask, then select the generator. And it should show most of the generators here. And let's look at another useful, easy to use generator, which is light. And if you click on the light generator, you will see that the orange color is now projected from one direction. So this is the Rust. I added a new generator and selected that generator to be light. And light is not a good, like, this is not light. I mean, like, you don't put extra light on it, but you can think of it like something that is shining from some direction. And from here, from the properties, you can change how the light is coming. So first of all, the angle in two different ways. So vertical and horizontal. And what can be achieved with this is, for example, like if you're on a desert, everything is dusty from the bottom up. So that's, for example, something you could do. Add a dust layer from bottom to up. It's like this gradient that goes from bottom upwards. Or then I'll put this on top like this and change the color from the actual layer to be, for example, white. So I could also add like a layer of snow to everything with just this shader. Of course, I could combine that with, let's see, for example, my grunge. Let's have a look. Why is it screen? No, I think it should be on multiply, maybe. Like this. So now I have the lights here, the generator, and the grunge dirt splatter thing showing at the same time. Okay, but light is quite nice. Then let's check one more generator and then we're done with those. So I'll go here and disable all of these and add one more generator, or actually I'm just gonna go to the light generator and change this one because this is not important for me. So I can go to the light generator here and I'll just change it from the properties. And now I will select the mask editor. And this is the mother of all. Actually, the builder is maybe it's easier. I'll take the mask builder. They are quite similar. This is the old version and this is the newer version. I'll take the builder one. So mask builder generator. And this has a lot of things. I put it on, so it already did something. So it seems it does something to the edges and then also something to the areas that are not edges. And then I can check this mask builder generator. It has a lot of stuff. First of, you can just like try this level, how like rough it is, contrast, how the edges, like the grunge edges are, then what type of how grungy the grunge is or how predominant. Then the grunge itself can be opened from here and scaled, and then you can like put a new grunge in. I'll close that one. Then it takes into account the ambient occlusion, so how much it affects like areas that are like close to something. Then it takes then there is curvature, how much it takes actually. No, sorry. These are like you need to open this. So curvature is down here. You need to open it. Then you can like change the concaves and convexes, how they are taken into account. Then gradient, you can do a gradient from top to bottom, how everything is affected. You can invert that. Road space normal, yeah, you can take that also into account. Let's just see how. No, I couldn't. I need to open that one. So first put it on and then changing the things here. Like, okay, I can put more white on top. Then some scratches maybe. Oh, there's an open, which one I have. And maybe the scale it down. Then there's a scatter thing. Let's see what is scattering there. Something. Size variation. Okay, but you got the points that there's a lot of stuff that you can like achieve with this one generator. So, but I hope it doesn't remember what I just did when I open it next time. But there's a lot of stuff, but which can be taken into account. And these are like you can try and just like play with these generators. But for example, important stuff here would be that you could take into account the curvature, how the edges are wearing with the curvature. And so on. But this is only like a way how you can adjust the mask, this generator. So in the end, it's only like it's only showing. The point is that it's only showing this white color in some ways. White color, which is which has little bit of depth. But you can see like it's really like it makes it look really like real stuff. But it's only fake on top of all the actual geometry. But those are the generators. The best way to like get a glimpse of something, or like get an idea of what to do, is to check the smart materials in here. Check a smart material, for example, bronze statue, bring it here, and see how it's made, what it is made out of. So what is the pieces that have made the bronze statue, for example. And then you can like, okay, maybe what is this? Corrosion. Okay, it's a fill with heights and so on. So that's how you can like start to invent stuff if you're interested. I'm just gonna throw that away. Okay, then one more thing which is quite nice and quite helpful in the beginning. We already know how to paint, but quite often we want to project stuff on top of this area. For example, we want to have a logo or something like that in here, and that can be achieved as follows. Just gonna put those back on, change that to be rusty color. Just gonna change the opacity a bit. Okay, now I'm happy with the base. So, sorry. So, normally we are painting with a paint brush. If I want to add some stuff here, the best way is, of course, first decide what material, first build the material or make the material. So I want to have paint, another paint here. So I'll just create a new fill layer and decide, okay, this is going to be red. And this is the color I'm gonna paint my logo here, or actually stamp it in. And so now I have the fill. Then I of course add a black mask on it. So now when I put it on the mask, I can see the red here. And then I will add once more a paint layer on top of the mask. So I can later on like put it on and off. So mask, then a paint layer on the mask. Then I want to have, I now have my brush tool selected, but if I would now paint, I would get like the red paint. But I don't want to have paint here. I want to have the logo here. And the logo are most often, I mean like a brand logo, like just one colored logo thingy. That can be achieved from the paint properties by going to the properties of the paint and going all the way down here to stencil. And the stencil is how we can stamp a thing here. So I go to the stencil, click on a stencil, and now find a nice logo thingy here. I'll take the simple arrow, for example. These are pre-updated. Okay. And now you have Probably this size thingy there. So you need to paint, and you can paint a stencil. We could actually fill a stencil also, but now it's on paints. But now the paint layer is using a stencil, and it works so that you can now rotate this normally by alt dragging. You can rotate where you want the stencil to go. Okay, now it would be on the very face of the whatever Matt's was the guy's name called. So a stencil. And now if I paint, the paint will only be on top of that area. So you can see it now from behind that. So there's a red paint. So that's how it works. But I don't want this to be like this huge. I want this to be smaller. And I can resize this by pressing S. So press S down, and then you can resize it by right click dragging. So right click dragging, you can resize it. Right click, left click dragging, you can rotate it. Still S is pressed all the time. And S middle dragging, you can move it. So the same things that are for the camera, but now for the stencil. And then you put it somewhere, and then you can paint on it. And now I'm painting on the mask of the fill layer, which leaves me with a red arrow there. If you're painting on somewhere else, I don't know what is coming from your stencil. But my stencil is now masking, removing the mask of the red paint. Mä menen tän loppuun, niin mä tuun sitten. Okay, last thing, that's how you how you can use a stencil. Last thing about the stencil is, or almost last, is that if you want it to be straight, it might be a bit hard now because we are in normal view. So there is this changes the view changes the forms because it's a normal camera with perspective. So if you want this to be straight, you can change the camera up here to be this one to be in orthographic. So it shows everything without distortion on the camera. So there's no perspective. And then if you want, you can change the camera to, for example, front camera if you want to watch straight from front. And then you can put this on. And then you can paint. So now it's straight compared to the camera. Of course, it's not straight because it's turned, but you can change the camera to have it from the front. So that's how we can stamp stuff here with the stencils. And if you don't want to use the stencil anymore, just remove it from the paint. Just click on the X, and now you have a normal paintbrush again.